in, I guess.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the AFC East Roundtable, your favorite divisional debate show on the internet surrounding the AFC East. We are joined by the usual suspects, plus a replacement, the legend, the man, the myth, the legend, Connor Long. How you doing today, man? Talk to us.
Dan, TD, Colby, appreciate you having me. Shout out to my guy Richie. Got hit up, asked me to fill in. You know, they're big shoes to fill, obviously, on the AFC East Roundtable, but super happy to be here. I appreciate you all welcoming me here on the program, and it really is free agency frenzy, especially in the AFC East with all the moves we've seen from all four of the teams.
Connor, listen, man. There ain't no big shoes to fill. This is an upgrade. We're honored, man. Richie's
the best.
We're about to get some real takes, non-delusional Jets takes. I love it, baby. Let's go.
You know, Colby, TD, excuse me. You come out with some delusional Fins takes. I gotta fill in for Richie, and I gotta rebel.
Oh man, no, listen.
He does indeed. Hopefully,
feel free to jump down the throat, Connor. It's all right. He deserves it.
Appreciate all you guys.
And so I'm hoping that TD got all of that out of his system during Fourth and Forever today. But Colby, how's life, man? How you doing today?
You know, life's life, and man, life's life. And the older you get, Connor, you're gonna learn that you do these shows to get away from reality now and then. That's just kind of where I'm at in life right now. Let's freaking go.
Hey, man, we're getting around there. TD Fins talk, man. Zach Wilson, QB1. How you doing?
Is that my title now, Dan? Is that what it is?
Zach Wilson, QB1, baby. You already know
that what we're gonna do?
Yeah,
it's all right. Well, hey, you know what? We'll see how that works out. But I'm doing good, man. A beautiful evening. Thank you for those who are tuning in. I'm excited to talk ball with Connor. Colby delusion as usual. Man,
where's the delusion? I haven't said nothing yet.
Dan's about to come off of the mountaintop, baby. Let's go.
And Dan's about to come off with the mountaintop. Guys, right now, as you start to pile in, please do us a favor and just hit that thumbs up sign for us. Easiest way to support what we are doing over here on Roundtable Sports. Today, obviously, we are going to be locking in on some of the recent transactions all across the AFC East, the ripples that has been causing, and super pumped to knock all of that out. I do need to give a giant shout out, though, to today's proud sponsor that just so happens to be BetUS. Folks, BetUS is the #1 sports book in the face of the planet when it comes into everything and anything sports betting. Basketball, hockey, and baseball lines will be coming out soon. And you also have the ability to end up betting on some of the football futures, including the Super Bowl LX participants, winners, what have you, and also specific draft landing spots based off of where a team would like to go. BetUS is currently matching 150% of your first deposit all the way up to $2,000 and 125% of your second and your third up to the exact same figure. With code YouTube150. So take advantage of that great promo and shout out to BetUS for sponsoring today's episode. All right, this is a beautiful thing. Let's go on ahead and check out a couple of super chats before we end up getting into some of these free agency signings. PGZ206 is saying Jets are cheeks. Funny enough, Connor, I'm pretty sure this guy's a Seahawks fan. I don't understand his beef.
So you just paid Sam Darnold an absurd contract after 6 weeks of starting. Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Hey, man, listen, PGZ, man, he is
that's crazy.
A great donator to the channel. We have Teleporting Goalpost, $10 donation. Thank you so much, man. Hey, let's go, Buffalo. Love it, man. Super Bowl bound. We stacked, boys. What's up? Isn't it crazy that Rodgers is taking the same path as Favre, Packers, Jets, Vikings? Was that announced?
No,
not yet.
We just heard they have interest. My guess is he's either going to go to the Steelers or retire. We're hearing the Giants now too, but what does Aaron Rodgers get out of going to the Giants? Like at that point, he might as well retire.
Like virtually nothing. Like virtually nothing.
Maybe.
I wouldn't even say that I'm Aaron Rodgers. I'd probably want to stay away from the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. Sure, they have DK now. That's great. And Pickens, terrible offensive line though. Like definitely a downgrade from what he had to deal with over in New York. He's just asking himself to just further taint the twilight of his career.
Lost Najee Harris.
I feel like Vikings would make sense, but
I think JJ is going to get a shot. I think they're going to give JJ a shot. Maybe you bring it, but again, I think Rodgers is going to want to go somewhere where it's guaranteed that he's getting the starting job. I don't think where he is at this point in his career, He's going to want to compete with technically a rookie after he redshirted his first true NFL season in JJ McCarthy. I think the Steelers would be a good fit. I don't really see him gelling with Mike Tomlin. That's the one thing. But I think it would be a great fit because that's one of the teams where the starting quarterback job, if he signs with the Steelers, he's going to be their day one starting quarterback. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah, well, there were also rumors. There were rumors that JJ McCarthy could potentially be traded if they get the right compensation in return for him. And honestly, I think we've seen that the Vikings are just that organization to where they are probably the most quarterback-friendly organization in the entire league. They can make anybody work. So if you get Aaron Rodgers there, Jay Jettas, they got some firepower there with that team in general. Jordan Addison. Honestly, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, you're taking the Brett Favre route, pretty much copy and paste. But I mean, at this point, that's going to be his best chance to succeed and go out with a high punch.
Now the Giants make sense for Rodgers too, because I think it would be the perfect marriage. Because when you look at the head coach and the GM position and where they are sitting, like their seats are hot as ever, and they understand that they need to win. There's no more excuses, and ownership is going to kick them to the curb. So it's almost like, let's at least go with Aaron Rodgers because we know what sort of production he's going to give. That might be the best opportunity for us to go 7 to 8 games. I know, but I'm trying to think from a desperate GM and head coach right now. Like, that's why I think that it would make sense because Rodgers would be the starter immediately.
Exactly. It's perfect for the GM and head coach, not for Rodgers, though. Like, Rodgers doesn't get anything out of that. Like, Shane and Dable, it doesn't matter if they draft a quarterback this year and he's the next great thing for the Giants in 3 to 4 years. They need Derek Carr's off the table, but a Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins guy would have been perfect for them because both those guys I think they still have a couple more years left in the tank. They're looking somewhere for a starting job, and both those guys are veterans with very, very high floors. And again, they would be interested in the Giants. The Giants would love Rodgers 1000% because he has a low ceiling, but his floor is very, very high compared to a lot of the free agent markets and even a lot of the free agents, and even some of the trade targets. He would be perfect for the Giants, but Rodgers, the Giants wouldn't be perfect for Rodgers, if that makes sense.
Now, by the way, of this flow of the conversation, this is a great segue. We might as well just talk about the Jets. I have to talk about the Jets right now because a hot topic that TD and Richie were essentially ripping each other's throats over.
Did you see what I sent you on Twitter, Dan?
I was watching it. I saw it on Twitter.
It was Justin Fields. So, Connor, I kind of want to hear your thoughts. And then obviously on the rest of free agency as well. And Colby's thoughts on the Justin Fields acquisition. But I do want to start off with Connor here. What are your initial thoughts on the Justin Fields pickup?
I love it. Justin Fields is someone who, again, he's not a great quarterback, but look at he hasn't shown consistently that he is a great quarterback in this league. But look at the other options on the table, trotting out former number 1 overall pick Marcus Mariota, trotting out Jameis Winston, trotting out Carson Wentz, all guys who are pretty much fundamentally broken, and where their ceiling is, and it's very, very low. Where their floor is, and it's not even that high. I like Justin Fields because he's someone who's going to be 26 years old right before the season starts. He has upside. He's able to move. You're able to shift over to a more run-heavy, run-and-gun, tailored style offense with Justin Fields. You have to worry about him in the backfield along with Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. So I really like Justin Fields. It's a low risk, high reward type move for me. Because what's the worst thing? He's a bridge option for you, and he gets you to you draft your quarterback in 2026. He goes starts off 1-4, looks like crap. Then you put Tyrod Taylor in, who's a perfect stopgap guy when he's able to stay healthy. I really like Justin Fields because the worst thing that you can get out of Justin Fields is he gets you to 2026. The best thing, you catch lightning in a bottle, and he's your franchise guy. He's 26 years old, and he has a lot of upside. That's the main thing I like about Justin Fields here.
See, what TD's probably going to talk about is the contract. For me, TD, so what I tried to tell you about the contract, I tried to yell over you and Richie screaming at each other during the show. I don't think that his cap hit next year is as concerning as you think that it is. Because again, he does have void years attached to this.
Yeah.
And then also on top of that, we are seeing the NFL salary cap increase average of $28 to $30 million per year
with the extra national games too, international games.
And with
For the
extra
record.
international games, I'm not so much concerned about the dead cap, and I know that's exactly where you're going to go with this. But go on.
Well, it wasn't where I was gonna go, but
Oh, okay. He's got a new
since
take.
you want to go there, did you see the tweet I sent you, Dan?
I did see that.
Then why is Josh Allen out here talking about saving the team $5 million? Why is he out here talking about it? You out here talking about it don't matter. Savings are savings. It doesn't matter how much the cap goes up. It goes up for everybody. People need to stop acting like when the cap go up, anybody benefits. Nobody benefits from the cap going up because it goes up for everybody. The only people that benefit are the players because they're going to make more money. It doesn't benefit an organization that the cap is going up other than their own financial pocket. It's not like an advantage or anything. Everybody cap goes up the same amount. So there is no benefit. $5 million in savings is $5 million in savings. All I'm saying is this. Connor even sounds like he knows that the Jets are about to win 11, 12 games. He even sounds like he knows that. So we're talking
Connor's
about
we're
out here talking about what's the worst case scenario, if he, loses and, we just draft a quarterback. Yeah, but that could be the difference that I'm trying to explain to Jets fan is that if you would have just got an old $5 million bridge quarterback, you could secure potentially a top 5 pick. Justin Fields might have you out here with the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th pick.
Yeah, but
no one's trying to tank. No one's trying to tank, though. That's the thing. Nobody is.
Oh my God! Listen, if you know you're not going to win a Super Bowl, you tanking. It's just different ways to do it.
That's not true. Because you could squeeze in at 8, 9 wins.
Look at the talent that this Jets team has right now. Yes, it's not as bolstered of a roster as last season, but you look at what killed the Jets last year. Aaron Rodgers wasn't particularly great, but he was a serviceable quarterback for this team. Penalties, defense collapsing in late games. You bring in I'm not even going to go there. You bring in a head coach who is defensive minded, who is a disciplinarian, who is going to take this team and reduce the penalties. Someone who's going to strengthen this defense, one of the best defensive coaching staffs in all of football. You're telling me I'm not saying this is what's going to happen. If I had to make a prediction right now next year, the Jets win in the range of 6 to 7 games. However, if you tell me Justin Fields can play competent football for, we'll give him 10 starts. We'll say he starts 10 games next year. Penalty numbers go down. The defense plays average football. Tyrod Taylor comes in, starts 7 games. With this roster, with the talent, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it is not the craziest thing to say this team has a ceiling of 9 to 10 wins. It's not the craziest thing in the world. So, no, I don't think anyone is thinking of tanking, especially the first year of regime in Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn. They don't have all the time in the world. Whether they draft a quarterback this year or next year, they are tied to whoever that quarterback is. The Jets win 4 games this season. They win 4 games in 2026. Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn are on the hot seat entering year 3. And TD, come on, you really think Aaron Glenn is going to want to tank? You think Aaron Glenn is going to want to tank year 1?
Tanking is now a strategy.
It is now a strategy.
Losing becomes habitual. This is the same thing that I told you about the Patriots when you tried to say they were tanking. No, they weren't tanking. They just sucked. That was it.
Okay?
Tanking never works. Tanking never works.
You don't want to be a team that's viewed as a loser, whether you are purposely trying to tank or not, because that makes it significantly harder to get players to want to re-sign, to get free agents. Look at the Patriots. They had to overpay because they sucked over the last 2 years. Whether you're purposely tanking or not, losing becomes habitual, and perception is reality. If you are perceived as a team that is a loser, players will not want to go to sign with you. They're not going to want to play for you. You win as much as you can.
Listen, all that sound good. All I'm saying to you is, if you're sitting there as an organization and you're like, are you really having a debate in the front office? Listen, Justin Fields can help us get 7 games. If we go get a bad quarterback as a bridge, he can only help us get 3. And we have the number 1 overall pick. No, we can't be tanking, man. We need to go get 7 wins. Come on, man. Let's go get 7. I don't want that 3. I don't want the first overall pick and 3 wins. I want 7 wins and the 9th pick.
So, you can trade up. That's what you're not understanding, TD.
Hey,
you can trade up. You can trade up, and now players want to play for you because they see that you have that potential. So now you're getting free agents without overpaying, and you can trade up in the draft and get your franchise quarterback.
The Jets trying to trade with Tennessee right now. Why they go through?
They're not going to do that. If you're getting
they're not trading up. They're not trading up to number one. And another thing,
exactly, because they can't.
You know what happens after you win 3 games, though. You know what happens after you win 3 games?
You get the number 1 pick.
What?
All the young talent.
All the young talent wants out. Nobody wants to be here. Back to the same old losing culture. You start from
what
square
young
one.
talent? What young talent? It's the Jets.
Garrett Wilson,
talent?
Breece Hall, Will McDonald, Quinnen Williams, Jermaine Johnson. Who's your young talent, TD? Who's your young talent? Who's your young talent? TD, who is
Garrett Wilson? Garrett Wilson, the only young talent y'all got.
TD, who is your young talent? Answer me right now. What, Zach Wilson, 1 year, $6 million?
Hey, y'all trash is our treasure. Y'all trash is our treasure. Okay. We know
you tried it with Tim Boyle. You tried it with Tim Boyle. How did that go?
Listen, Sauce Gardner's overrated.
Okay.
Quinnen, was he even playing last year? Where's Quinnen Williams, y'all?
Whoa. 2-time first team All-Pro, his first 2 years in the league. And what people call a down year, he measured out to be a top 7 cornerback in the National Football League. And you're telling me he's overrated?
DJ Reed was better.
All right.
Last season he might have been, but I mean overall.
Last season he might have been. You're not picking DJ Reed over a 2-time first team All-Pro. Come on.
So hey, Connor, how's your first TD experience on air?
It was tough, but I got through it.
It's not over, trust me. It's not over.
I got a question for Connor. Connor,
right?
are y'all gonna win more games? Are y'all gonna win more games than the Patriots?
I don't know. Anything could happen. Did anyone predict the Jets to win 5 games last year? Did anyone predict the Commanders to go to the NFC
Everyone
Championship
said Super Bowl for the Jets?
Except TD.
I said the Jets was
okay, TD, well, you realize if you make a negative take against the Jets, 9 times out of 10 it is going to work out because they are the Jets.
So why can't Richie say that? I'm gonna clip that. I'm clipping that, Connor.
No, wait.
I'm gonna get that clip right there.
Clip me for speaking facts. Clip me for speaking facts.
So Connor, real quick. I know we talked about a lot of the moves with the Jets on Monday, but there was some breaking news while I was on Bleacher Report, and we haven't heard anybody talk about this. I want to hear Connor talk about it. CJ Mosley being released from the Jets. What are your thoughts on that, and what are the implications from that?
So CJ Mosley's really an interesting one for the Jets. It came out they're using the post one designation on CJ Mosley. So that means they'll eat $8.7 million in 2025, $4.5 million in 2026. One thing that I don't really understand is they don't save money by moving on from CJ Mosley. It's still unclear. I think if they're moving on from him, this means he's probably done playing football. Someone who dealt with injuries all of last season, played only 4 games, and when he was on the field, he was still battling injuries. 32 years old though, came to the team in 2019, did really great things, was the leader, was the captain of this defense. But now that they're giving Jamie Sherwood this 3-year, a $30 million guaranteed contract worth up to $45 million, I could see why they might want to move on from Mosley. But this means CJ Mosley is more than a reliable linebacker 3 in this league. If it was the Jets' decision, I'm not a fan of it. But if it was Mosley's decision and he wants to move on from football, I get it 1,000%. Some names I really, really like in this draft, especially if you want to go high. Jahad Campbell from Alabama is a linebacker I'm super high on. A more realistic target in round 3 is Jeffrey Bassa, the linebacker out of Oregon. I'm also really high on him. I think the Jets, they have 2 great linebackers in Quincy Williams and Jamie Sherwood, but those are also 2 very, very light linebackers. You have Quincy Williams, who's going to rip your head off. You have Jamie Sherwood, who's just a great tackler overall and great in coverage. I'm still looking for that bigger linebacker you can assert into this defensive unit, and I think that's who the Jets might get in the draft or free agency. Overall, my thoughts on Mosley are, I get it. It's something I expected, but a great depth piece for this Jets team overall and a great leader.
Watch Demetrius linebacker in the draft. That's a guy.
Demetrius Knight?
Yeah, Demetrius.
From South Carolina.
Yeah. So we were at we were at the Senior Bowl a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
And this is my first time where I ever had the opportunity of actually interviewing a player live in person. And he was the first guy I went up to interview.
Wow.
And Colby starts. He hit record. And the second I said, ladies and gentlemen, Dan Mitchell, Roundtable Sports, I am here with Demetrius, blanked on his last name. I go, wow, dude. Killed me.
Did you
Killed me,
restart
my
it? Did you
friend.
restart it?
No,
No. I just went through with it, man.
Right.
Okay.
He laughed on it and everything.
Was it posted?
but
Was it posted?
Demetrius,
No.
linebacker out of.
No. That video will die on my phone. It will never be released out to the public. I promise you that.
Dan Mitchell.
Yeah.
Dan Mitchell.
Talk
Richie
to me.
fired. Richie fired, bro.
Hey, listen, so far
Richie
in the
fired.
chat, I
Hey,
have
we
seen
need
a
a
lot of
contract
opposing
for
fan
Connor. Rick
bases
and
say
Duke.
that
I
they prefer
appreciate
Connor
you
over
guys.
Richie.
I
A
appreciate
lot
it.
of opposing fan bases prefer Connor over Richie, which is
Richie's the goat.
incredible.
I'm honored to be here. I appreciate everyone welcoming me here on the show.
Yeah, hey, Connor, man, we got a 2-year deal ready for you, man. 2-year deal, man.
Smash that like button. But Colby, all right, man, we're gonna switch over to your Patriots, right? Many are saying that this is one of the best free agencies in all of the NFL. I probably have you and the Chicago Bears neck and neck as far as acquisitions for really addressing some of the key weaknesses here. But we obviously chatted a tad on Monday. However, I want to say that there were a couple of recent acquisitions that came in. Talk to us about your thoughts on free agency and some needs that you still think need to be addressed, if at all.
Yeah, we touched upon most of these on Monday. So if you guys want to hear a little bit more in depth about the earlier signings, make sure to go back and check Monday's episode. But I really liked the Mac Hollins edition. That's one of the later additions that the Patriots had made. He's someone who's going to come in as more of like a wide receiver 3, but I think he's going to play that kind of X receiver. I know this might sound crazy, but like a lot of people wanted DK Metcalf to play on that X kind of receiver on the outside. DK is not like this big contested 50-50 guy that you might think. He actually has some speed to him, and is more of a reliable hands receiver. I think Matt Collins can fit in that role. Not calling him DK, but again, I think a reliable short-handed receiver, a guy who put up just under 700 yards with Josh McDaniels back in 2022 in Vegas. Now they're reuniting here in New England. So I like that addition. Matt Collins, he's a bit of a nut, right? This guy's interesting if you've ever seen his TikTok, but he's a good guy. He's a veteran. He's a leader, and that's exactly what the Patriots young wide receiver core needs. Morgan Moses, this is a guy who me and Connor were talking about even before we started this video. He's 34 years old. To give him a 3-year deal, he's going to be 37 by the time that's up. I'm just hoping that they front-loaded that contract, right? Give him all the money in the beginning so that, after year 1, after year 2, if it's just not going as well as you hoped, you have a better, younger option that you can just release him. I like Harold Landry. It's a really good addition. I think he's going to come in. He's going to stop the run. And really looking at the additions the Patriots made on defense, that's exactly what they're going to do. Like their mantra was getting guys defensively who can tackle, but more so guys who can also stop the run. That was a big problem for the Patriots last year. They went from 2023 being the second best unit defensively in stopping the run to this past season being one of the worst. And because of that, it allowed opposing offense to dominate time of possession, become multidimensional. The first thing you have to do defensively is you have to make sure that you can take the run away from an offense, force them to beat you through the air. That's what the Patriots are doing here. So I really like a lot of the moves they're making. They really only made moves on day 1. They haven't made a move here on day 2. They haven't made a move here on day 3, first day of free agency here on Wednesday. Cooper Kupp. That's what I'm going to say. The Patriots have about roughly $50 million still left in cap space. I'm not expecting they're going to use all of it. They started with $127 million, so clearly they've spent a lot. But I didn't want Cooper Kupp when you had to trade for him. You had to give up draft compensation. But the Patriots have shown if a guy is strictly a free agent, they will go out, they will heavily target you, they will give you more money than the other guys can. So with that being said, Cooper Kupp is officially a free agent. He's expressed interest in the Patriots. Go out, get him. I think he will thrive as a slot receiver under Josh McDaniels here in New England. And that at least for 1 year can be a very good serviceable wide receiver 1 for you.
So it sounds like you're like really dead set on Cooper Kupp, but let me intrigue you on a couple of other names. Okay. Some pending free agents at the wide receiver position. And by the way, was that thing about Chris Godwin true as well, where like you guys offered him a lot of money, but he decided to stay with Tampa Bay?
So the Patriots offered him $8 million more per year than the Bucs did, but he
wow.
wanted to stay with the Bucs. Yeah.
That's crazy.
$8 million more per year. And he said no.
You guys still got some big names though. You got Carlton Davis. Guy's a dog.
One. Milton Williams was the biggest one.
You overpaid for him though. You got to admit that. Colby.
Overpaid. I mean, Milton Williams paid 50% of the snaps on defense for the Eagles this past year, but that's also a loaded defensive line. He's going to come to New England. He's going to play, like you said, TD. He's going to play like 75, 85. But the hope is that Christian Barmore comes back. And now you have one of the best, if not the best, interior pass rushing duo in the NFL. But if he doesn't come back, he essentially serves as your Jeffrey Simmons from the Titans. That's kind of that same role he's going to serve here in New England.
So I'm going to entertain a couple of names here.
I like this game.
It sounds like Cooper Kupp is your guy, but here are the biggest names still available.
All right.
Stephon Diggs.
Nope.
Keenan Allen.
Ugh.
Wouldn't be against it, but not really interested.
We have Amari Cooper.
No.
Brandon Cooks.
Man, stop reading names, man.
And then
Deontay
Johnson.
No, that guy shouldn't even be in the NFL at this point. He's got like 12 opportunities last year.
What was the second one you read there?
I said Deontay Johnson.
Stephon Diggs.
I guess he had 2 locker room instances for 2 different organizations last year at one point. So he's probably not somebody you want to have in your locker room.
Listen, it's Cooper Kupp or bust, man. Or
that's the exact way that every Patriots fan sees it right now. Cooper Kupp or bust.
So I got a question for the Patriots. So, Colby, I've been studying all the moves. I'm actually a fan of the moves. I love what y'all are doing. I feel like your defense already going to be top 10 because you got Vrabel behind it. Offensively, everybody's worried about a weapon. I'm not as concerned because you got Mac Hollins. I think that you're going to try to get a Cooper Kupp or trade for a T. Higgins. And if not, that's going to be the primary focus in the draft. And I could be wrong, but I think that's how they'll go if they miss out. O-line, where are you with the O-line? How do you feel about if you plug people in right now as starters about the O-line?
Yeah, what I really like about what Mike Vrabel and Ellie Wolf have done is that they've had different plans, all right? This is ideally our plan A. But if that doesn't go well, how do we switch and how does this affect the rest of the team? This is what our plan B is going to be. They offered Ronnie Stanley $24 million per year.
Wow.
But he decided to go back and still play with the Baltimore Ravens, take a massive pay cut. Now, the Chiefs and Commanders also offered him high-end contracts. The Commanders offered him $24 million also. News came out yesterday that the Chiefs and Commanders actually tampered with Ronnie Stanley. So that's news that we'll probably hear coming out a little bit more over the next few days and implications that that's going to have. I think the Patriots, they wanted Ronnie Stanley. Like, that was their guy. We ideally want to solve the left tackle position, his blind side, and it will be a lot easier for us to go out and either roll with Caden Wallace, second-year tackle, over on the right side, or we can go out in the draft in later rounds and get ourselves a right tackle. Ronnie Stanley doesn't come back. There's no good left tackles on the open market. They said, all right, plan B. Who is the best tackle out there? Right tackle, left tackle. Who's the best tackle? Morgan Moses, right tackle, was the best guy still on the board. They said, all right, we're going to get him. We still have a massive gap at left tackle and left guard. They're either going to roll with some guys that they had last year, or they're going to look towards the draft. And I think that's what's more realistic. Whether they're going first round with Will Campbell, who the Patriots reportedly still view as a left tackle, despite the small arms. Maybe they go Ariante Ursary in the second round. That's how they address left tackle. But they said that there was only one starter they viewed on the offensive line headed into the offseason, and that was Michael Onwenu at right guard. I think they have the right side figured out. I think you got David Andrews at center. You got Michael Onwenu at right guard, Morgan Moses at right tackle, but 2 glaring questions at left tackle and left guard. I think that's going to be addressed in free agency in the draft.
So is that the biggest need? Left tackle, left guard, and wide receiver?
Yeah, I mean, left tackle was the biggest need heading into the offseason. It's still the biggest need, but you have Vidarian Lowe, and a lot of people are going to say, well, Cam Robinson, right? Oh, you have money. Why don't you get Cam Robinson? Cam Robinson.
I don't think the value's there.
Is a slightly better player than Vidarian Lowe. I'm not paying a guy $20+ million to be slightly better than the guy that I already have. So they're either going to their draft or they're rolling it back with the left tackle they had this past season. I still think they're going to go get a veteran. I don't know who it is right now, but I think they're going to go and they're going to get a veteran at left guard and pin him in there.
I like Kevin Zeitler as an option, but he just got picked up by the Titans earlier today. I get he's 35 years old, but he's certainly more than a serviceable guard still at this point in his career.
Yeah, I'm not against a veteran, but I think that's the other thing too, is that for the most part, outside of Morgan Moses, right? For the most part, the Patriots want to get younger. They don't want to get guys who have 2, maybe 3 years left in the NFL and they're on a decline. They want to get guys that can be here for at least the next 3-4 years at a high level and can be a part of this team when they start actually competing again. They're not going to go out there and get a guy.
You did that with
Morgan
Moses, though.
I know. I think that with Morgan Moses was just a situation of we need 2 starting tackles. Right now, we can't be picky. So even if we get 1 good year out of Morgan Moses, we just don't want Drake May to be killed in 2025.
Yeah. You think they're going to draft Membu?
I like Membu. I don't think they're going Membu, though. Yeah, I think it's Ariante Ursarin the second. I think it's trade down Will Campbell, Kelvin Banks at left tackle. But I think you have Morgan Moses. You allow second-year tackle Caden Wallace to develop a little bit behind him. He's your future at right tackle. Now you just got to figure out what you're doing on the left side.
So now, why is virtually every single Patriots beat writer I see on the internet like pounding the table for Travis Hunter? I know that you were probably one of the ones that is trying to avoid that like the plague. Is that something, right? Because like, it's funny, right? Because so 3 weeks ago, like I put out a tweet where I was just like, Bills Mafia, I know we all want Myles Garrett or Max Crosby or Trey Hendrickson, but let's be real. It's going to be a 1-year contract for Joey Bosa, right? That's why I haven't been so excited about Joey Bosa, because I knew exactly what was going to happen. Like we all wanted Myles Garrett, but it was probably going to be about an edge rusher that we can't even guarantee is going to stay healthy for 8 games this year.
Yeah, you wanted Gucci, you got Target.
Is any part of you
Ain't nothing wrong
like
with Target.
have that?
Right, but
So does any part of you have that in the back of your head where you're just like, you know what? I want the Patriots to go this route, but I think we're going to end up with Travis Hunter.
Look, I'm scared. I'm scared for sure that if Travis Hunter's there, that they're 100% going to take him. And I know that it sounds crazy. And, you know, at the end of the day, if he's a part of the New England Patriots, I'm going to trust them. I'm going to trust their development. I trust Mike Vrabel, and I trust his vision. I just think even if he's there at 4, do you know how many teams are going to be calling your phone to go get Travis Hunter? And I just don't trust that the Patriots are going to be the team that develops Travis Hunter. I think Travis Hunter, and based off of every report that I've heard, there is one team that views Travis Hunter as a wide receiver, and that is the Cleveland Browns. And I'm sorry, but now that we have Carlton Davis as cornerback 2, am I going to draft the guy 4th overall to mainly play defense for me and then get 10 to 15 snaps offensively? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you now, bro. I know you've been against it,
down.
but I've been the whole time New England, man. That'll be nice to get Travis Hunter. But when you got Carlton Davis, no, man, you don't waste that cornerback position like that. I know you're getting an athlete and a player who could do a lot, but no, y'all cannot go Travis Hunter now. It's like overkill.
Yeah.
So,
especially when you just pay that guy like Carlton Davis, like you said, huge money.
Exactly.
And I feel like everyone's talking about Travis Hunter falling. Them, you know, obviously you're going to get a huge haul to trade for a team that's going to trade up. No, they're not trading up for Travis Hunter. I'm telling you right now. I don't. They need as much capital as possible.
If he falls.
Oh, if he falls to 7, yeah, for sure. He's not getting to 7 though. I feel like everyone's saying a team is going to trade up and give you a haul for Hunter. I've been trying to find that team. I don't think there's a team though that's going to give up premium assets to come into the top 5 to draft someone like Hunter. I think entering this pre-draft process, Hunter was viewed as the clear-cut number 1 guy. He's slowly starting to fall down draft boards. He went from being the clear-cut 1 to Abdul Carter pretty much taking that consensus spot on most boards. Now we're seeing the rise of Cam Ward, even Armand Membu I've seen in top 5 on in the top 5 on people's boards. Like, where really is Travis Hunter ranked, and who would give up multiple? Probably have to give up a first-round pick and then some if you're coming from like that 10 to 12 range to get up to 4, especially for a guy like Hunter. I don't see a team that is doing that.
I think players who also win the Heisman, immediately their draft stock just flies up boards. So that is something he has going for himself. I've seen a lot of people say this too. It's like, oh, well, you know, and shout out to my boy Mike, big time Patriots fan. Shout out to him for being here. But I've seen a lot of people say this. He would play wide receiver more. He is more developed as a cornerback than a wide receiver.
Yeah.
The fact that every single organization outside of one views him as a cornerback instead of a wide receiver says a lot. Listen to the organizations. Listen to the professionals. Do not listen to what we want as fans. And here's the thing, too. Oh, well, he can be a wide receiver 1. Play him on the offense 80% of the time. Play him on defense 30% of the time.
No.
What people don't understand is that playing cornerback, you have to play more to really get the best value, right? Like, you can plug a guy in 5 snaps offensively and he can go off in those 5 snaps. We've seen it with Marcus Jones, Patriots cornerback, who had opportunities on the offensive side of the football. But to play good cornerback, you have to play in the game long enough at quarterback to actually play well, because you have to pick up on the tendencies of the wide receiver you're going up against. I don't want to throw Travis Hunter out there for 15 snaps defensively here and there, and then he gets burnt in the fourth quarter because a wide receiver puts a move on him that he wasn't expecting, because he didn't get to pick up on the guy's tendencies throughout the entire game. You cannot throw a cornerback out there for 15 snaps and expect him to play as a cornerback one. It's just not realistic.
I love it.
He's the CB. Yeah, he's a CB1 80% of the time, wide receiver 30% of the offensive snaps.
Yeah. So we have Lino TV in here with a $2 donation. He says,
hold on.
So we have Lino TV with a $2 donation saying, I agree, Jets are cheeks, and did Richie shave? LOL.
Did Richie shave?
We have PGZ. Richie's voice has changed. Richie's voice. That's all love, got her. Justin Fields is overpaid and cheeks. PGZ.
Can you hear me now?
Man. Yeah, man. Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Slippy Al, what's up, bums? And the Bills are taking care of business in free agency. Pats to leap the descending Jets and Dolphins. Josh Allen is that MFer. Slippy Al, man. Appreciate the contribution. Lancelot C. JF is low risk, low reward, though. He's not bad enough to tank, but good enough to stay mediocre. Doesn't that sound familiar to Jets fans?
Well, we don't know. We don't know, to be fair. Like, we don't know what Justin Fields' ceiling is, because you look at what he did with the Bears, incompetent coaching, really no weapons at all. He improved every single year. And I know, TD, I heard you. I don't know if it was you who said it. I think it might have been you who said it earlier. You were talking about Justin Fields, and the first opportunity that Mike Tomlin got, he benched he benched him for Russell Wilson. It might have been you. I know it wasn't you, but I've heard multiple people say now that, well, look, Justin Fields was benched, although he even started 4-2. Just because he was benched, and a lot of people are going to harp on that, just because he was benched for Justin Fields doesn't mean it was the right decision. You can say all you want about their defense, helping them propel to victory, but you still have to be a serviceable quarterback in this league to lead your team to a 4-2 record over 6 games. You say good enough to stay mediocre. We don't know how good he is, and that's why I want to take a flyer on him. We don't know what his ceiling looks like. We've seen his floor. We know what his floor looks like, but we don't know what his ceiling looks like, and that's what we're gambling on.
You seen his floor? Have you seen him on the
Jets? The Bears.
No, ain't no floor like the Jets.
We have to jet it out, saying, let's go, Connor. Absolutely.
Appreciate you jet it out.
Have Massachusetts football guy. Welcome aboard, Connor. All right,
appreciate
look at that.
My guy.
Moose City, AFC East Roundtable. Who we thinking the Jets might grab? Moose City with a $10 donation.
Ooh.
So are there any other free agents that the Jets could potentially go after, Connor?
Every single day that goes by, there's more names that come off the board. Levi Onwuzurike, from the Detroit Lions is a name that a lot of people were looking out for, but he's now back with the Giants on the Lions on a 1-year, $5.5 million contract. The names on the market, there's nothing left. Tim Patrick is a name we've been really, really talking about. I thought he was going to be a day one free agency signing. He's someone who's still on the open market. But again, Tim Patrick, guys, is a wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 in this league. There are no big names that are still out on the market. I think the Jets might grab. Someone I'm keeping my eye on, TD. I know you're a big fan of his. Calais Campbell. Calais Campbell to beef up the interior.
Coming back home, baby. Stop
Bring
that
him over here, TD. Poach him from the front.
You get that out of your mouth, Connor.
Bring him over there. If this is Connor's audition, he's killing it. Lancelot. Funny enough, guys, we actually ended up pinning Connor's YouTube channel to the top of this live chat.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
Everyone go over there and subscribe to our boy.
Please, right now. Everybody should be
I appreciate all your support.
Go over there and subscribe. We're talking about giving him his very own show on the Roundtable Sports Network. We're going to have him as a recurring guest to talk ball. All right.
I appreciate you guys. Well, I'm super happy to be here. I can't thank you enough for having me.
Yeah, man. Most definitely. Midnight Strikes Back says, what's up, AFC's Roundtable? Showing some love. Bills got better, and the Dolphins, Jets, and Patriots stay mid.
Yeah, you know what? Stay complacent, because when we bite you in the butt and your team starts to fall, I don't want to hear it.
Oh, my God. Let's get T-Mac and Connerly for my boy May.
I like T-Mac. I do think he's going to fall in the draft. I definitely don't think he's worth the 4th overall pick. He didn't run his 40 time, right? And that was the biggest question about Ted McMillan. I think he didn't run his 40 time because he knew he was slow. I don't think he was running a 4.5. Some people are like, oh, well, he didn't run because he's going to run like a 4.5. I think
he's going to run a 4.6 or a 4.7.
Exactly.
My question to you, Colby, is why would he run the 40? Why does it benefit him to run the 40? Because he's only going to hurt himself. Like, I understand why he wouldn't run the 40. It's smart that he's telling teams, go back, look at the tape, look at my speed, look at what you saw in me during the entirety, my 3 years at Arizona, look what you saw my entire college career. Why would he go ahead and try to run the 40 at the combine or his pro day? Because it's only going to hurt him. He gets nothing out of it.
Well, I think his stock rises, right? I think his stock rises.
It only falls, though, if you think about it.
Or early 4.5, I think it rises. But I think the fact that he didn't, it's one of those things where he knows he's going to be slower. He knows it's going to hurt his draft stock. So he doesn't run because he says, well, you know what? Go watch the tape, right? It's better to not know because it might drop me a little bit versus if I go run a 4.6 or a 4.7 and I fall even farther because now you know that I'm actually slower. So to me, I do think he is going to be slower. I don't think it necessarily matters as long as he has good footwork. He runs really good routes, gets good separation. I do think he is going to fall, though. I don't think he's someone I would take at 4. As for Connerly, he is a projected first-round pick, but I do think one of these tackles is going to fall to the second round between Kelvin Banks, Will Campbell, Ursery. Not all these guys are going in the first. One of those guys is going to fall to the second, but you're probably going to have to trade up in order to get him.
My God. And then Patriots 92. I will be sick to my stomach if the Patriots draft Will Campbell at 4.
I think they would trade. If they do, they're going to trade down and do it.
Campbell's not a tackle. He's a guard.
Will Campbell.
I think he can be the first one. Maybe not the first one. There's been a couple guys, but I think he can actually play at 32. If you look at it, he has such good technique, such good intangibles. I think his arms being a little bit short. Like if there's anybody, especially as fast as he gets out of his stance, his 40 time was absurd for an offensive lineman. If there's anybody that's going to get past having slightly short arms, it's going to be him.
Look out for Josh Simmons from Ohio State.
I like Josh Simmons, but the question mark is he's coming off a big injury. When is he going to be able to return? I think that's going to hurt his draft stock.
Yeah.
Well, folks, we've seen a couple of Bills fans chime in on the chat about how pumped they were with the free agency Buffalo has put on the board. And why not take a little segue over to some of the massive transactions we have been making, starting all the way last night with Joey Bosa being signed with the Buffalo Bills. Now, again, like I said, I am fine with this deal because I look at it from this perspective. We saved about $9 million getting rid of Von Miller and releasing Von Miller, and we signed Joey Bosa for about 12.6. So realistically, we are looking at a Joey Bosa for a 1-year prove it sort of situation at $3.5 million. If that makes you feel any better, how you could look at it. Yes, he has significantly struggled staying healthy throughout his career. He has only had 3 full seasons where he has played 16 plus games. When healthy, he does have the opportunity to cause havoc in the backfield. He's a great run defender as well. As long as the Buffalo Bills ultimately end up using him as a sort of a rotational piece, then I am going to be thrilled with this acquisition. I still do not believe that we are going to slight off and not focus on getting an edge rusher in the early rounds of the draft because of this. I still think that is going to be something we will be targeting within the first 3 rounds, but not bad from there. Have Michael Hoyt. He is your utility player on the defensive line. He's played interior. He's played on the edge. He is a solid special teams contributor. I was happy with this overall pick. Larry Ogunjobi, interior defensive tackle, has had his bright spots in his career, was better off in Cincinnati, has been okay over in Pittsburgh. But I think what this entire free agency day 2 really showed, and day 3 rather, is that Brandon Beane was self-aware to understand that the biggest thing the Buffalo Bills needed to work on was their defensive line and getting to the quarterback. And last season, while this team was struggling so significantly with stopping third down conversions, 27th ranked in the league by itself, really love that Brandon Beane went out there and he showed the entire fan base and the world that he recognizes what needs to be fixed, and he fixed it, at least on paper. I still think a lot of these moves, we're still going to be looking for a defensive tackle early in the draft, still an edge rusher, I would assume. And then more than likely a corner is going to be our first priority in the draft, not unless by some miracle we see news break that Asante Samuel Jr. has signed with the Buffalo Bills. I am tapering my expectations. I do not believe that is going to happen. Super excited about Derek Forrest's safety out of the Washington Commanders. He had a very solid season in 2022. Then he ended up hurting himself in 2023 with a fractured shoulder. Dan Quinn ends up taking over, where Forrest just didn't fit his scheme in general. But now he's going to a scheme that is very similar to the defense that Washington ran prior to Dan Quinn. I think automatically he is the best safety that is currently on our roster. We've been looking for a solid safety in coverage. I think this guy has a lot of upside, hoping for the best. All I want is for us to go into this draft and not make the mistake that we have made so many years of going into each and every single round with a predisposition that we need to come out with a specific position. Not at all. I want us to take best player available with each and every single one of our picks based off of our positions of need, and don't get ourselves into a Kyer Elam sort of situation. But as far as filling holes, and as I might say, a very smart financial way of doing so far, I am very pleased with this Buffalo Bills free agency.
Interesting. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I do think that you did overpay. You did overpay a little bit for Bosa, but I also understand why. Because
same like you for Milton Williams, Colby.
Well, you know what? Yeah, I get it. But you know what? Bosa was expected to go to the 49ers. That's what we all thought. So you're gonna have to pay a little bit more for him to actually go to your team instead of playing with his brother. It was reported that the 49ers offered him about $10 million. You guys offered around, roughly $14 million. You know, the funny part is the Dolphins were also in on Bosa. You know what they offered him? They offered him $8 million. Ooh. Y'all really thought that Bosa was going to go and take a pay cut to go play for the Dolphins? Like, I couldn't believe it. Bosa literally went to the Bills for one reason. He saw the offer from the Dolphins, felt disrespected, and said, I'm going to screw you guys over 2 times a year. And that's what I loved about this signing. That's just disrespectful that you thought $8 million was going to get it done given where you guys are at. But look, I think Bosa at this point is more of a name value, really struggles getting on the field. For me, the best ability is availability. How long and how often can you get onto the field? Didn't have a bad year this past year. I think he's a still an average, pretty good overall all-around edge rusher. I mean, he had a 63.9 overall PFF grade this past season that ranked 90th out of 211 edge rushers, a 64.1 pass rush grade that was 86th among 211 edge rushers, and then a run defensive grade of 73.7, which was 19th out of 211 edge defenders. Overall, like his numbers, it's nothing spectacular. I mean, 10 quarterback hits, that ranked 19th, 19 hurries, that ranked 65th, 5 sacks, that ranked 61st, total pressures, 34, that ranked 53rd. So you're getting a guy who has, regular season and postseason experience. I think that's very valuable. You're getting a veteran in the building. He's going to help you guys for sure, but I don't think this is like Joey Bosa from 2018 or anything like that.
Some Joey Bosa from 2018. Yeah, you know what? It was definitely a surprise because I thought that we would be going after a corner specifically. I thought that we would just be going to the draft, but really at the end of the day, it is indeed a very low risk and a high reward, right?
Yeah.
Say that he can miraculously stay healthy. And do remember,
double-digit sack guy.
He's coming from a training staff that punctured Tyrod Taylor's lung a couple of years ago, okay? So I'm not going to put the LA Chargers training staff up at its absolute highest pedigree here. Say that he's hurt and he's not available. What's the change from Von Miller, right? I'd rather roll the dice on this guy, see if he can be a contributor. All I need is 7.5 to 8 sacks next year. That's all I need from him. And then hopefully the rest of the defensive line can eat. Like what's still important to me is I would love a world where I could walk away with Kenneth Grant and or Derek Harmon. Like that would still be perfect for me right on the interior. I love those prospects.
Darius Alexander too from Toledo is also another great guy.
Yeah, him too. Worst case scenario, say that like we can't find him. I'm fine with Tyleek Williams as well out of Ohio State. But it's nice, but let's see if it comes to fruition because this Buffalo Bills team has not had a quality pass rush. A edge rusher or a defensive lineman that has recorded more than 10 sacks since 2013. So we are in in trouble. And so when were you born, Connor?
2011.
Okay. Wow. So Connor was 2 years old the last time, folks.
Yeah.
All right. That the Bills had multiple 10 plus sacks on the defensive line.
I'll throw a fun one out here. I was -11 the last time the Miami Dolphins won a playoff game.
He was
-11.
-11.
That's crazy.
Colby, how old were you when the
Dude,
Dolphins
you know what?
won their playoff game in 2000? 1999
Fine.
season. It was in January of
I
2000.
wasn't even born. I was born in
And
2001.
so you know what's even
you weren't
funnier
even
than
alive.
that? And what's even funnier than that is the
Disappointed me,
majority of the
Connor.
Dolphins fans in here that celebrate their Super Bowl in 1970 were about -30 when that happened.
Yeah.
So it is all where we are. TD, any thoughts on the Buffalo Bills free agency right before we move over to the clear winners of the AFC East, the Miami Dolphins and their free agency acquisitions?
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan. Connor taking shots. Okay. But listen, Buffalo, this is the year of falling for them, I believe. I mean, I think they actually made some good moves, but I said this earlier. Buffalo has been a product of the only reason Buffalo's had success is because the Dolphins, Jets, and Patriots have been so bad.
Nope.
That's the only reason. See,
Quarterback.
period.
Period.
Listen, he ain't as good as you think, Connor.
Okay.
Listen, but,
MVP? Come on. Tua, you ready to see Zach Wilson in week 4? TD, you make fun of the Jets for the position they're in, but you realize that is where the Dolphins are going to be next year. You realize that, right? After they win 5-6 games this season, they're going to fire Chris Greer, they're going to fire Mike McDaniel, they're going to be looking for a new head coach, a new GM, a new quarterback. I mean, hey, maybe Zach Wilson's your guy. Who knows?
Tua's going to save the ship this year, Connor.
If he's on the
going to
field.
save the ship.
When
He's
has
gonna
he
be on the
ever
field.
saved the ship?
Exactly.
He's going to this year. It's a different year.
You
But
did this
listen,
last year.
every
You did
year.
this exactly. You did this last year too.
Connor, the Jets, we've all been
We're
bad.
not
That's
talking
the-
about the Jets though. We're talking about the
We're
Dolphins.
talking about no, we're actually talking about the Bills. They've been good because we've all been bad.
Nope.
It's that simple. The Patriots are
Quarterback.
now going to have a competitive team, and they're going to be competing for a playoff spot. Buffalo gonna lose probably one or two of those games. The Dolphins were still
the
on
Bills
the
are not
rise.
losing to the Patriots.
The Bills always lose to the Patriots every year.
Yes,
Lose one.
yes.
What in week 18?
Well, last
Joe
year I
Milton?
wouldn't sell it.
Come on.
No.
Last year I
play
wouldn't
them in week
celebrate.
18.
And
You know
so-
what?
last year I wouldn't celebrate,
No.
but
You
like,
ain't
you have
gonna
a
do that,
point.
homie. You ain't gonna do that. We still beat you. And you know what? We beat you in 2022. We beat you in 2021. So what's the excuse there, huh?
Thank you.
Man.
What's
So-
the excuse there, Dan? Come on.
No.
We ain't
The
doing
Patriots
this.
probably gonna sweep them this year.
Oh,
We're probably
I'm not
gonna
saying
sweep
that.
them.
Oh,
We'll win
no.
one of them, but we ain't sweeping them.
Well,
So what
one of us
frustrates
gonna
me is that like, oh, this Buffalo Bills team has been so consistent in the AFC East, going deep into the playoffs, and people think it's some sort of miracle, and it's because of the
It
division.
is.
I feel like that they have just been putting it all on display this offseason. Like, look at what they do, right? Like, they end up securing their young talent. They extend them before the markets go absolutely insane. Exactly like Bernard that we just ended up getting. We got Shakir, who I promise you that contract's going to look beautiful this time next year, especially when Chase and T. Higgins ultimately end up getting their deals. Same thing with linebackers, etc. Like what we do is that we end up taking care of our younger talent. We implement them in very fast. We have an awesome coaching staff that sees significant year 2 jumps on a lot of guys. This Buffalo Bills team will be competitive for bare minimum, I'd say another 6-7 years. As long as Josh Allen is playing at this current level, which I don't see Josh Allen really regressing until he gets to about 35, 36.
Dan,
and even
that's
then,
your,
I still think he's dangerous.
that's your take. It was supposed to be my turn to give my take on the Buffalo Bills.
Oh,
Do y'all know that if the Buffalo Bills would have just gone 3-3 the last 2 years, they would have actually missed the playoffs?
They didn't, though. That's the thing. They didn't.
But they are
you can
about
say
to,
you can
Connor.
say that though.
They're
but they
about
didn't.
to.
No, they're
They're
not.
about
No,
to go
they're not.
3.
But
Either
you
the Dolphins or the Patriots are gonna sweep them, and y'all gonna get swept by them. And when they go 3-3,
okay, you're not sweeping the
nine
Dolphins.
games,
You're not sweeping the
miss
Bills.
the playoffs.
You're not sweeping the Bills.
We're that close. All I
No.
need Kobe and them to do is beat them once. We'll get them twice. Or we get 'em
Exactly.
once,
You're
y'all
close,
get 'em
but you
twice.
haven't been able to do it.
Did you
But
beat
we
them
will
last
this
year at
year.
all?
No, we didn't.
Oh, all right. I was curious.
That's why I'm saying we're like literally, they would not have made the playoffs 2 years in a row. If
They
we, if,
did
if
though.
we
That's
just,
the thing. That's the thing. They
I
did
get
though.
it.
And you
I
can't-
get it, but it's on us to stop them. And this is the year Buffalo goes 3-3 in the division. They'll
Oh,
go
man.
3-3.
To who?
They're not Either we're going to sweep you or the
So we
Patriots
split
going to
it.
sweep you.
I can't believe that you
And
still
don't forget,
I
Rodgers
still can't
beat
believe that you can
y'all.
still convince
We were
yourself.
at the game when Rodgers beat y'all with the Jets. I'm still not sleeping on the Jets getting the win on y'all this year. They will go 3-3, and they will
I feel like
win
we're talking
10
about
games
two
and miss
different
the
teams.
playoffs.
Yeah, we're talking about two different teams. But anyway,
They will miss the playoffs. All we got to do is do our job, and we're going to do it in Buffalo this year. All three of us, we just got to get 3 wins.
In Buffalo.
No
They
way.
ain't
Come
invincible.
on.
They not invincible.
All right. Well, you know what, TD? Please enlighten us and talk to us about your off season.
There we go. Here we go, baby. Listen, Zach Wilson project. Okay, if Tua goes down, can McDaniel do
disaster?
Can McDaniel do to Zach Wilson what he did with Tua and rejuvenate his career? There's a lot of optimism. There's a lot of optimism that he can, because it's a Jets quarterback. All of them are bad when they're with the Jets. Dwayne Eskridge, wide receiver. Well, I didn't even know we re-signed him, so that's the re-sign. Nick Westbrook. I love this move though.
That's a good.
That's a good move. That's a
so
good move.
8 touchdowns, big body. He's gonna help us in the red zone. I just think that this is an underrated move. A lot of people don't realize this is a nice pickup for the Dolphins. He'll be the number 3/4 receiver with Malik Washington, way better than OBJ is right now in his career. So this is a big win for us right here. All right. Offensive Jackson, Carmen re-signed. Ain't nothing much to see there. Larry Bourne, ain't much to see there. But James Daniels, this is a massive move right here for the Dolphins. Coming fresh off of an Achilles, but he is a great player, though. He is a great player. And if he can stay healthy, coming off of that Achilles, should be ready in June. We finally can move on from the travesty of Liam Eichenberg at right guard that we've dealt with for 4 years straight. I mean, finally, man, this is the relief, finally. So if he can stay healthy, we finally have a top-tier guard on the right side, and the O-line can be solidified. Tyrell Dodson, not much to see there. Solid, though. At Futu, this one's interesting. They call him Iffy, all right?
Yep.
He wants his opportunity to shine. I talked to Dion. Dion said, man, this guy is better than Javon Holland. You just didn't know because they already had 2 good starters, and now he's going to get an opportunity to potentially start in Miami. I'm not going to sit there and go out there and say he's better than Holland, but I am going to take Dion's word. Dion knows ball, and I'm going to see how this one works out. But I like the deal. Elijah Campbell, not much to see there, been with the team, but Ashton Davis, a solid pickup, coming from the Jets. He knows, the tendencies, Sauce Gardner, how he likes to hold and all of that stuff. So we'll get some inside information on that. But Ashton Davis, he gonna come and give us some quality to playing time. Can he earn a starting job? I don't know, because I think we're gonna go Malachi Starks in the first round, which I sure hope we do. But yeah, man, when you think about it, the Dolphins are addressing some of the positional needs. Now we got to go. We hope Calais Campbell come back in Teron Armstead. And if Calais Campbell comes back, that's a big saving grace for us. Why? Because now we can go in the draft and we could just focus on getting a corner or a safety in a draft. And now we Super Bowl ready.
I like that Melifonwu pickup. I mean, I think he's someone who you don't really want to play on a regular basis. If you're asking him to be like a full-time starter, I think you guys are screwed. But when he plays in limited capacity, he's actually a really good player. Been a big fan of the last few years.
The safety room scares me though. Like Ashton Davis is a special teams guy who can't do it. He can't do anything on defense. Can't stop the run. Can't.
Malachi Starks coming.
Okay. Malachi Starks would be a great pick.
I'm an Amenwari guy.
From South Carolina. I like Amenwari too.
Over Malachi Starks?
No, not over Starks.
I thought you were a Cisco fan, man.
Watts is my guy.
I
love Cisco.
Yeah, Xavier Watts.
Yeah, I like Watts. Cisco, I think, is a great pickup for the Jets, though.
Dan, about to say, Dan, you like Cisco?
Oh, I did like Cisco a lot. He was actually somebody I was really looking for the Buffalo Bills. Him, and then also Julian Blackman, who I'm kind of surprised he hasn't been picked
free
up
agent.
yet.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
He is still free agent. I'm pricing that out.
Yeah. There's a lot of names that are still on the market, but overall, like even before anyone went off the board, this class overall in free agency is so weak. Super weak. So it's hard. Like even looking at the wide receivers, I was talking about it on my shows the whole month leading up to free agency. You look at that class: the Robert Woods, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Hopkins, all those before anyone was signed. You look at that 5 years ago. Mike Williams is like the best free agency wide receiver class you've seen ever. But now they're all guys who are over 30 years old who are coming off gruesome knee injuries. It's just overall, this class is super weak.
Absolutely, man. Well, you know what? Listen, I just ended up checking the Patreon mailbag, and we have no questions. So anybody that is a Patreon member and would like to flood our mailbag channel with some questions, please feel free to do so. We are about to be letting in our callers over here. I wish Richie was here because I don't know what layout we have for the call-ins, but we do have Colby, who is one of our hosts on the network who knows this StreamYard thing so well.
I do. I do.
Help us out, Colby. Bring him in and make it look aesthetically pleasing. All right.
Make
we
it
all
look
know
aesthetically pleasing. All
that
right, let's
Richie
see.
is an aesthetics guy. He's an optics guy. You know what I mean?
He is an optics guy. Got us there.
Yeah, we'll bring in our first guy.
Let's see what we got here.
Colby, I think if you replace the share screen on the 4-1
Yeah.
and just put a camera there, you could do that.
Yeah, honestly, this might be just like a take this off and then just like add. You know what? Let's start with the number one guy, right? Let's start with the guy who started off this party. Let's bring in our guy Glenn. Where's Glenn?
Let's go.
Let's figure
he's
out
a
the
fan.
best suits.
Hey, Glenn.
How y'all doing tonight?
Hey, man, we're doing great.
Man.
We kicked TD
What's
off
up,
the
Glenn?
stage.
I want to figure this out, CD.
I do have a question for you. Dan.
Yeah. Hey, where is he?
Well, but I think it's glitching again. There we go. StreamYard's been glitching.
Hey, sorry, Glenn. We lost you for a second. What was it?
Okay. But the question I have is, he says that you do know you spent like $500 million on 4 players, right?
Yeah. But hey, you know what?
Yeah.
We needed to. All right. 1 year deal really isn't that much, you know?
Hey, 500. No, you guys spent 500. You don't be paying that for a while. But I understand you went to a championship game. This is your year because that money don't start counting in the future.
Yeah.
And $30 million ain't don't help that. I don't care if a thing goes up. That don't start biting you in the butt later on.
Yeah.
But this is your year. You done the most. Well, you done a lot, but that's because you're going for broke.
Yeah.
And you have to. You have to go. It's Super Bowl bound for Buffalo, or you wasted it. You could end up wasting Allen's career.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely, man. He's the highest paid QB in the league right now. We got to do it.
Now, I don't know who you guys are judging. You judging those 2 safeties that Miami picked up. You guys do realize who Miami had there on safeties last year?
A 25-year-old on his rookie contract?
Oh, wait. We had Poyer and Holland. Some of the 2 worst safety plays last year. If you go see Harlan's stats, anytime we played a good team, his stats went down every time.
But isn't that the whole Dolphins team, though?
Well, hey, it don't help.
Like Drew.
Hey, you're right. Hey, you could get it from one player, bad player gets good, but you can't be getting it from both defense and offense and still expect to win.
Yeah.
Okay.
Couldn't you guys pay him that, though? What he got with the Giants?
What?
Couldn't you guys have paid Holland what he got with the Giants?
Could we have retained? No, we couldn't afford. We were bargain hunting,
We broke,
and I
man.
understand we are. But the good thing that Miami's done, and hopefully they don't, is we can't restructure Tyreek and don't restructure Tua and
It's
stuff.
coming,
We'll be
man.
fine.
I just feel it.
You get that, and we'll be okay. You could restructure couple other players right now and get some free up a little bit more money, which is fine, but not Tua and Tyreek. Because we can't afford the $35 million on Tyreek next year. He don't be cut next year. There ain't no ifs and buts about it.
I think
We can't afford that 35. Hey, now you know the New England Patriots. Oh man, y'all done a lot, but just because y'all's team sucks so bad, You had to do a lot just to come up to average.
Yeah, we did. We had the worst roster in the NFL. No secret about
Yeah,
that.
but
he had to go to be average.
But you still haven't helped your quarterback out.
No, I mean, there's who was going to, like, who are you supposed to target in free agency? That was going to be
Jedrick Wills.
Jedrick Wills is cooked, man. He's terrible.
Yeah.
You just have to hope the draft now. The draft you have to go for. There ain't enough. There ain't enough to help you. And the last is the Jets. Why would you pay $40 million to a backup quarterback? I just don't understand that.
Is there one quarterback I have a question for you. Is there one quarterback in this league who is not a rookie, who is a starter, who is getting paid less than Justin Fields?
He shouldn't be a starter.
It
That's
don't
the
matter.
point.
He's a backup quarterback, and you paid him $40 million. Yes, he is.
You paid him the lowest salary for a starter who is not on a rookie
Here's what you saying.
And you're taking a flyer on his talent. You're taking a flyer on his talent.
Here's what you told everybody. Hey, if he doesn't do nothing else, he can run the ball. Well, if he can't throw the ball, well, we know he can't throw the ball, because I hate to say, go watch those games against Pittsburgh. They benched him because he sucked. He sucked. Now, his running helped him out, but he was sucked. He couldn't hit a side of a barn and stuff. He sucked the first 5-6 games. That's why they benched him. That defense and his running ability is a reason why that they ran. And you can only run so much. And a team, Buffalo ain't gonna let you run like that. There are teams that ain't gonna let Jets run like that. Miami let them run all day, but that's.
I'm not arguing that Justin Fields is a great quarterback. Let's just get that out of the way first. I'm not arguing that Justin.
You could have got him. Why couldn't you got him for $10 million a year?
Because that's not what quarterbacks who, even if you're not a starter, even a fringe back, that's what backups are getting paid. And Justin Fields wants a starting job somewhere. I'm not defending the fact that the Jets paid him $20 million. That's one of the things I don't like about this move. I'm going to be honest. That's one of the things I don't like about this move for the Jets, but they're gambling on upside here. And that's what they're doing with Justin Fields. They're taking a flyer on someone. Go ahead.
I know why they did the $40 million over 2 years, because they wanted to do a cap and throw some money down, and then where they wouldn't have to, they could cut them next year. Okay, but just offer him $10 million and for 1 year and let him go. If he does good, then you re-sign him.
No, they think they got the franchise.
His $8 million this season. Let's keep that in mind. Like Dan, you always make the great argument. I was listening to you talk about it on. I think it might have been the Dan Mitchell show on Saturday, and I remember listening. I remember listening to you say, talk about how AAV means nothing. And I agree 1,000%. Exactly, nothing. And Justin Fields' cap hit is $8 million in 2025. $8 million.
Yeah. Yes.
They can get out of it.
But they still are going to, even if they got out of it right away after this year, they still got to pay $22 million one way or another, spread out through the years.
Yes.
You still okay? Let's see.
And it could be spread over. I understand it could be spread over 3 years or whatever, but it's still it's just crazy price to pay for an unknown quarterback.
Say for example,
a quarterback that hasn't done good.
So here are the metrics right here, right? So it's an $8 million cap hit this year. It's a $22 million cap hit in 2026. But if they release him in 2026, they get savings of about $1 million. Still $22 million dead cap, but they could post June 1st as well, which would give them an additional $10 million in savings and a dead cap of 13 in 2026 and a dead cap of 9.
Still got to pay $22 million.
You guys are acting like this is a Russell Wilson cap hit.
Yeah, it's not a Russell Wilson.
No.
Come on.
No. Here's the point, though.
This is how I was a Russell Wilson. He won a championship.
Like, here's the point, though, Dan.
Contract, right?
Like, let me ask you this question, Connor. Who did you replace DJ Reed with?
Nobody. I'm not a fan of moving on from They didn't replace DJ Reed with everyone. They paid Brandon Stevens 3 years, $36 million. Someone who's a former third-round pick, who Steve Wilkes, Aaron Glenn, Dre Bly, Chris Harris, they seem to be just gambling on his ceiling, the potential that he has. And they let Brandon Echols, walk to the Steelers today. The contract details weren't even released as to what Brandon Echols got. I was very disappointed with the way the Jets handled filling that CB2 role, but DJ Reed wasn't going to come back even if the Jets threw the bag at him. He wanted to move on. He wanted to test the open market.
Yeah.
A guy I really liked was Carlton Davis. We heard from Mike Silver, the Athletic.
Well, he
that the
did go to
Jets
the
and Patriots. He went to you guys.
Well, why would somebody want to test the open market to get more money though? I don't get
more.
it.
He also wanted new scenery.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to be honest with you, Glenn, like say for example, like I don't troll the Jets for signing Justin Fields to that contract. If I troll them for anything, it's signing Brandon Stevens for a 3-year contract.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the most trollable offense.
3 years, $36 million. Someone who hasn't shown you anything.
He's terrible.
Hey, Brandon Echols, 2 years, $9 million to come back actually. And someone who has shown he's more than capable of producing when he's on the field as a starter, owns the Dolphins. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is in the next 2 to 3 years, the Jets will have a situation where they offer a player money and they lose them because another team offered them $5 more million. That's all I'm saying. And that could have been your 5. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, here's a question, and this is my reason why I think quarterbacks for the Jets suffer so much. Not only do you have to be quarterback, you have to learn the quarterback, you have to learn in the NFL, but you guys have that media. And I believe that crushes a lot of quarterbacks there. That crushes a lot of quarterbacks there. And I don't know if Fields can handle that media.
We'll see.
Well, that's all. That's a big thing for Fields is I don't know if he can handle media. He didn't handle it great in Chicago, but he's a little bit older. Maybe he learned.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I think that's the reason why a lot of quarterbacks fail in New York is that media is crushing.
There's only so many quarterbacks, Glenn, that are built for the New York media market, and that's why they say there's nothing like winning in New York. Nothing like it.
Y'all need a tour, Connor. You need a tour.
No, I don't want a quarterback who's going to cuss every 2 weeks.
Glad we appreciate
I'll let y'all go. Talk to you next week. Have a good night.
Next week, Glenn.
Hey, Glenn. Appreciate that. Glenn is the man.
Let's go ahead. Let's bring in our next guy. All right. Longtime supporter. I believe he was the second Patreon member to join. Let's bring in our boy, Lino.
What up,
man? How you doing, Tony?
Free agency.
What's up, man?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to see your face, Tony, man. It's always good, bro.
Let's go Dolphins. Let's go.
Hey, I got to say, man, Connor, you're doing a really good job, man.
I appreciate it, Lino. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, Richie in trouble right now.
Richie's in trouble.
Thank you, Lino. I appreciate it. You're a Finn fan, though, huh?
No, hell no.
He's a Bills fan.
He's a Bills fan. He's a Bills fan.
Yeah, I just love Tua. That's all. That's the only reason why I love Tua. It's my tribal team. Yeah, my tribal team Tua, man. I love that boy, man.
All right.
Man, that boy, he does a good job. I mean, you can't tell me Tua ain't nice like that, man. Through week 1, through week 6. Woo.
Like Tyrod Taylor.
Man. But better.
When he's on the
field. That boy athletic too. Anyway, I kind of don't understand what's up with this fascination that the Jets is having with Justin Fields. Like he been doing something out here, man. I live in Pittsburgh, and I can tell you right now, they do not miss him at all.
I feel like it's the league too, Lino. Like the league, like ever since he was drafted, is just like still so high on him.
Exactly. My biggest thing is Glenn was right. He really can't throw like that. That's the reason why he got benched.
He's not developed as a passer, though. I mean, we'll see how this coaching staff handles that for sure. But I think the whole thing, you're not going to ask him to play moonball and throw the ball 50 yards downfield every single play.
You're going to need that. You're going to need that.
I think
Garrett Wilson.
I think the way this Jets offense is structured is tailored perfectly for Justin Fields. The way you can shift over to a more run-heavy, run-and-gun style offense with Breece Hall, Braylon Allen out of the backfield. I've been all for trying to, like Kyle Juszczyk, who was just released a few days ago, get him in here and run a triple option offense. Like I would be in on that. You have to. Here's the thing with Fields: the Jets have the running backs, Lino, to execute a successful. They have the running backs. They have the run game for Justin Fields to succeed with. I think that's the biggest thing.
I don't think you got the offensive line to do all that though. Your offensive line get banged up early.
Last year
get banged up early.
Joe
Y'all don't get
Pittman, Elijah Veritek, Olufashinu, John Simpson.
I like Elijah. I like him, but he get injured every year. I mean,
he get injured last year.
He didn't get injured last year.
He missed 2 games. I'm talking about for example, 2023. He missed pretty much the whole season because of that knee injury. Whenever they slide him out to tackle, Lino, he's cooked.
Yeah, that's true.
He's destroyed.
And I already predicted for Kobe. I was telling him this all last year how the Patriots are going to leapfrog the Miami Dolphins, which is easy. That's nothing.
Yeah,
nothing.
All fun and games till the Dolphins play a team that's 2 games under 500.
Let me know when the Jets and the Patriots pass us because they haven't done that in 5,000 years.
Colby,
you haven't won a playoff game in 5,000 years.
When's the last time? Yeah, exactly. When's the last time you won a playoff game?
Hey, Connor,
when the last time y'all had a better record than us. I had a better record.
Hey, Connor, XTD when the last time they beat the Bills.
That's true. I said any team that's better than
ago.
That's a long time, TD. That's a long time. Every year, and you say the same thing every year.
Listen, if Tua was healthy all them games, y'all would have been in trouble.
Oh Lord, here we go. Two of that.
I wish Tua was healthy for that Week 18 game, so I could just say the Jets beat Tua because Jets can beat Tua, no problem. The thing
you'll never beat Tua. The Jets have never beat Tua.
We haven't gotten the right opportunity.
He got to be healthy for it. He got to be healthy for that loss.
Y'all stop. Tua owns the Jets.
Okay. What is he 2-0 in the 2 games he's played in the past 3 years?
I think he's 4-0.
That boy played 3 quarters. That boy played 3 quarters, and now he's the man.
Yeah.
Best quarterback in the division. Win
That's
health.
crazy.
Third or fourth.
Win health. What?
Fourth.
3 or 4?
Hands down, fourth.
Allen won.
Fourth,
May
hands
2.
down.
Allen won May 2.
May.
Yeah.
You missed sleeping on that boy.
Actuation with thinking that Drake May is Mac Jones.
Did you just say Drake May is better than Tua?
Yes,
Come on, Connor. Now you're a bigger troll than me, Connor.
That's just the worldwide fact.
Thank you.
Knowledge. You go to
Dan,
a
where are
museum.
you on this?
I don't hate that take. I don't hate that take.
Dan, you don't hate it because it's a good TikTok. Stop that.
I don't hate that take. I really don't.
TD, TD, how is he better than Tua?
Yo, listen, I can't even confidently say that he's better than Zach Wilson, to be completely honest with you. I got to see how training goes.
He might beat out Zach Wilson in a camp battle.
Oh, y'all just getting it up now.
We can settle that. We can settle this easy. How many Pro Bowls did Tua go to? 1. How many did Drake May go to?
1 in 1 year.
In 1 year.
Snoop Huntley made a Pro Bowl too. I'm telling you, Snoop Huntley was the best quarterback.
All pro by next year.
Oh my
god. It's over for the Dolphins. I don't even know why they even have a network. I don't know why y'all have a show. Come on, it's over for y'all boys.
We sweeping Buffalo this year. We ain't playing no more.
Dan, you better make the hardest bet on life against TD. I swear. I want to see this.
He doesn't bet with me anymore.
I'm going into this season with no fear.
Oh, you know what?
Season with no fear. All bets
he won't bet me anymore, bro.
This year. All bets from Dan Mitchell.
Can we officially have one of the Bills games that y'all have to host for the Bills of Miami game? I want to go to that.
Yeah.
I would love it.
Yes. We're gonna have it in Buffalo. We're gonna have.
TD don't want that. TD don't want that.
Live game there
in September. Yep, it's gonna be in September.
The Bills in Miami in September.
Hopefully. Yeah,
let's do it. They're done for. Y'all done for, man.
Done, man.
I don't fear Buffalo anymore. I know what
type game.
You don't, but the team does.
I don't worry about the Jets and Patriots. They already know their place when it comes to the Dolphins.
Petey, you beat us once in overtime with a team that was completely depleted, and you're acting like you're on top of the world.
He took those wins.
Y'all won that last game last year because we were like, "Oh, Denver winning."
You're acting like the Jets lost 40-0 both times they played the fraud fish.
We own y'all.
Okay.
We own y'all.
TD, I'm trying to figure out where do Miami get better at? I mean, I feel like your defense is your biggest problem.
Wide receiver got better.
a little more healthy.
Oh, you're right.
Who they got? Dwayne
Big
Eskridge,
upgrade.
Nick Westbrook, Akine. What's the other guy's name? Washington, who they drafted a few years ago.
Still got Tyreek. Still
Is
got
Barrios? Is Barrios still there? No,
Nah,
they
he's a
moved on.
Texan now.
No, he's a Houston
Texan.
Texan.
Yeah.
He's a
Where was
Houston Texan.
Wano at all last year? Where was Wano at all last year? Because I mean, I didn't see him do anything last year.
I used to
He was
draft him on my
nothing.
fantasy team. I used to draft him on my fantasy team. Not anymore.
Nothing.
Not anymore.
He-
You better draft him this year.
No.
Going on.
No, he ain't going
So
on.
I drafted.
Don't do that.
I was in a keeper league. I had the number 2 overall pick. I took Tyreek Hill as my keeper, so I lost
I
that.
did the same
lost
thing.
that
Yep.
pick.
I lost that too.
Yeah.
I
And
should have
Tua got
known.
hurt. It was terrible.
Got hurt.
The
But he
only,
gonna get
the
me- he
only,
gonna get
the
me
only
2,000
game
yards
Tyreek,
this year.
the only game Tyreek did anything for me was the week 1 game where he got arrested before the game. That's the only game he gave me anything.
That's right. He got
Only
amped
game.
up.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Oh man.
He showed us exactly where that happened.
Y'all gonna find out. Y'all gonna find out this year.
Your whole team need to get arrested.
Show us. Show us.
I feel it.
Thank you. Instead of talking, show us, man. You say this
Y'all
every
forget.
year.
Y'all forget we loaded. Y'all just forget the injuries. See,
Loaded
Ramsey.
with what?
We're gonna have Ramsey, Calais Campbell. We're gonna have Jalen Phillips, Bradley
Ramsey
Chubb.
is the fourth.
How is Jalen Ramsey?
Ramsey is fourth
Yeah,
best
Jamie's like,
cornerback in the league now. I mean, in our
Ramsey's like
division.
50, Ramsey's like 50 years old now too.
Yeah, it ain't working no
He
more.
better than Sauce. He better than Sauce.
Oh.
No, no. It's Gonzalez, Sauce, Brentford, then Ramsey.
You're gonna go. Okay, no,
Yeah,
come on. You
it's
can't
true.
put Gonzo over Sauce.
Nah,
Okay,
Gonzo.
no,
Gonzo's
was
nice,
better
bro.
last year.
Gonzo's
nice.
was better.
How many All Pros?
Gonzo
All
was
right.
better.
I mean, good
How
point,
many All
but
Pros?
good point,
All
but
Pro just says
still.
what you've done at one point. It doesn't say what you've done now.
Come on.
Gonzo was better last year.
Be allowed in the hold
Gonzo was
everybody.
better last year, and it wasn't even close.
It was a conversation for sure.
Yeah,
Gonzo
nah,
was better than
it-
Ramsey.
statistically, it wasn't a conversation.
Sauce was a
The
two-time
only
first team.
category Sauce Gardner was better is he allowed one less touchdown than Gonzo. Gonzo without 0 pass rush too.
He let it lead. Didn't he lead
Two-time
in
first team
flags?
All-Pro.
What the-
Yeah. Also Sauce with all the flags, more yards he gave up, but one less touchdown. And Richie was like, "Yeah, but that's their job, right? You know, keep him out of the end zone, prevent scores." And I was like, "Yeah, so one touchdown less." And all of a sudden, he's better. That's crazy.
Jalen Ramsey disrespect.
Jalen
Jalen
Ramsey.
Ramsey disrespecting
Wait,
himself.
Gonzo was all pro.
Yeah, in
James
2024.
Ramsey-
Not
Ramsey
2 times.
would have been
Gonzo was
good.
all pro. He was just all pro. This is the first time he's played a full season.
Excuse me. Did Jalen Ramsey win a Super Bowl?
Not with the Dolphins. So
Let me know
what to talk about? What to talk
Y'all
about?
guys do that. Let me know when one of y'all corners do that.
Let me
Okay.
know when you got an Aaron
I got
Donald. Let me know when you got an Aaron Donald
Mhm.
playing for you. Let me know when you got Aaron Donald playing for you.
I got the best corner in the division. Y'all can stop capping now.
Not the
We see it every year.
I mean,
Ooh,
one
you
of
got
the
Doug
Jets
Storm, right?
safeties won a Super Bowl. Jalen Mills. Does that make him a top 10 safety in the league?
Yep.
Might
It does.
Jalen Mills, man.
It does with that logic, Connor. It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, TD,
Why not?
TD boy,
Why
you know
not?
how to spin it. You know how to spin it. I give it to you.
Why
you know how
not?
to
He a
spin it.
winner. He a winner.
Not with the
Just saying.
Dolphins, but you know what I mean.
Listen, Buffalo's demise is happening. I can't wait to laugh at y'all. Y'all winning 8 games. I can't wait to
Who gonna
laugh.
stop us? Duck Storm?
Buffalo winning 8, the Jets winning 4, and the Patriots
4.
winning 9 and just missing the playoffs. We'll get a smooth little 11. Win the division.
That's
But
crazy.
we're gonna represent our division though in the
TD,
playoffs. So
my
we're
favorite
proud.
thing, the thing I love when I hear you talk Dolphins is I listen to the AFC's Roundtable every single week, and then I'll put your show on in the background at times, and you're slamming. I was listening to the Dolphins Roundtable the other week, and you were slamming Tua, you were slamming the Dolphins team overall,
Exactly.
and now you come on here and you're gonna talk about the Dolphins winning 11 games next season.
Hey,
And the
you
Jets
sound
winning
just like
4.
Richie.
He's
Sounds
a
just like
marketing
Richie.
genius. He's a marketing genius. He's an engagement genius, right?
Yeah, he is.
Appreciate it.
He speak the
I don't know
truth
what
once.
you're talking
Speak the truth once a week. Once a week.
about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh man.
That's crazy.
All right, fellas. Well, I'm gonna let y'all go, man. I appreciate being on here, man. Connor get his
Appreciate you.
thing.
Thank you,
Love seeing my boy TD. You know what I'm saying?
It's just flying up behind me.
Love seeing my
man.
boy.
That's
All right, man. Yeah, have a good one, man.
Hey,
Dan,
man,
keep up with the
Lino,
good work,
shout out
bro.
to you, bro.
See you, man.
Peace.
Appreciate you.
What
My
a
boy
guy.
Lino.
All right, we got one more person behind the scenes. And we haven't seen him. We haven't seen him since we revamped the Patreon. But thanks to Glenn, we now have 3 Patreon members. Let's bring on our boy, Flex. What's going on, man?
Hey, Flex.
Man, Zach Wilson's gonna carry us to playoffs. I'm telling you right now. Zach Wilson is the
carry
guy.
playoffs, dude. You're a
Zach Wilson is the
now.
guy. Zach Wilson is the guy.
All right.
So this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna be 4-4. I don't. All right, just for disclaimer, I don't want this to happen. But Tua's gonna get hurt. We're gonna be 4-4. But I don't want this to happen. But come on, it's gonna happen. And then what's his name? Zach Wilson's gonna carry us. Zach Wilson is the GOAT. Not gonna cap, guys. Zach Wilson will carry us to another win. Another Super Bowl win. And you guys don't know. We're going to Super Bowl. That's Zach Wilson. The BYU GOAT.
Is this TD's son?
It's,
Is that why we never see your face flicks? Are you TD's son?
no. But come on. All right. Hold up. Jets and Patriots fans. You guys have never beaten Tua. How do you guys not beat Tua? You see how
Because
trash
he's
he
never
is?
healthy to play us. That's why.
What? He's been like 4 times. You guys like 4-0 against them, like 0-4, something like that.
Okay, my question to you, I want to go back to your point about Zach Wilson, and I heard TV talk about it earlier in the night. You guys are talking about Mike McDaniel like he's Kevin O'Connell or Kyle Shanahan or Cliff Kingsbury, like he's the quarterback whisperer and he's able to fix any quarterback no matter what. Other than turning Tua into an average quarterback at times, what has Mike McDaniel shown you that he's able to revitalize Zach Wilson's career?
I don't like Mike. I'm not one of those people. I don't like Mike. I want Brian Flores. Flores back.
Okay, who's gonna develop your quarterback? What's the OC's name? Frank Smith? What's his name?
Whatever his name is, but hey, Zach Wilson. No, Zach Wilson has intangibles. You guys don't know. He has it. Like Dan is scared of Zach Wilson.
Me?
He is scared. Yes, you are scared of Zach Wilson.
Well,
Come
he
on.
has better success against the Bills than me.
Hey, TD, them helpers there, TD. We might win one. But man,
hey, Flicks, listen, man. Listen, bro. They're gonna learn this year, bro.
They are.
They're all gonna
Isn't
learn.
that every year though? Isn't that every
year?
year?
No, this year is different, Connor.
That's what you said
It's a
last year, though.
different-
That's what you said
No.
last year, though.
No. You know what I can say, Connor? This is probably gonna sound crazy, but this is what I'll say.
Let's hear it.
We've been hit with the hurt bug so much that it can't happen this year. Like a broke clock right twice a day.
So why can't it happen to the
All right,
Jets?
guys. And also, all right.
Y'all ain't got a clock.
Yeah.
All jokes aside, our future's ruined. All jokes aside, we're done. Like,
hey, Flick, stick the face.
There we go.
No,
We got a Finns fan speaking facts here.
Whoa. The time to sign somebody. Oh, never mind. It's a defensive lineman. But
Jermon Jones.
Tua's gonna get cut probably like next season, something like that. Tyke's gone. Basically, everybody that are names that have not really been that good for us, they're gone. And we're gonna try to like redo everything with no money. We're the new Saints. We're literally the new Saints. No money.
Yeah.
But hey, we have Tua. Hey.
Here's
Like you get did you guys see Tua without any help? Like 2020, 2021.
Yeah, when you all thought you should have traded him for Deshaun Watson. I remember that.
Oh my, bro, we were talking Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson. We could have got Lamar Jackson.
We didn't though. That's the thing.
That's what we could have, and then we stuck with Tua. Like, and as people say Tua's more buff. No, he's not. He's the same Tua. Doesn't matter. Same arm strength, same agility, same everything. Trash Tua. But we're gonna win the Super Bowl with Zach Wilson though. Believe that, guys. Believe that. Actually, no. Oh, guys, I have the idea. You know what we're actually gonna do? Oh, I have a great plan. We're gonna trade Zach Wilson back to the Jets
for a first-round pick.
And guess what? For the 7th-round pick. Guess what, guys? Cam Ward's gonna fall all the way down to the 7th. And the Dolphins are gonna pick up Cam Ward. And that's our franchise quarterback. Oh yeah.
That's the forced Madden 25 trade right there.
That is that forced
You know what? I actually did that. You know what?
Trade
like yesterday.
That's,
Or like
that's,
Hey,
that's
yeah.
that Madden move
Hey,
where you
hey.
make the quarterback a punter and then you trade for a seventh.
Yeah.
Hey. Yesterday I did that with Zach Wilson. It went through. I'm just saying, it went through. It went through. I
Yo,
might have
Netflix
fucked up
cooking
Zach
this up in real
Wilson's.
time.
I might have put his like stats to 9 in a row, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't
That's
matter.
crazy, bro.
Yeah, our future's done. To be honest, I don't want to watch the next season, but I am. It's the same old Finns. We're gonna beat all the trash teams. We're gonna lose to the um
Sounds about
good
right.
teams. We're gonna beat the Bills because
Hmm.
we can't lose them every time. Come on, we can't lose them every time. We're gonna get at least one. Tua's gonna have this one magical game. Oh yeah, and Dan, we were supposed to win the other game if your little agent Hoyer didn't PI him. Little Bills agent. We were supposed to win that game, but no. Where Hoyer was playing for you guys. Still mad about that game. I'm just saying that was one game that could help us go on the playoffs. I'm just saying. But so all
That's
right.
crazy.
So Colby,
Uh-oh.
like, did you guys do any help for did you guys help out Trick Man?
Did we help him? Yeah. We got Morgan Moses on the right side, which is a massive upgrade over Devontae Jacobs.
Any weapons?
Yeah. Oh, I think TD bopped out. But yeah, we got Matt Collins. So,
Call him a
Oh,
weapon though.
wide receiver 3.
oh, let's
He's
go,
gonna help us through our
Dan.
minds. No, but I mean, like, real talk, there was no guy to go get on the open market. The hope was Chris Godwin. They offered him a bag, and he didn't he didn't want it. So nothing you can do.
Man,
By the way, I'm fine they didn't go get DK. By the way, I'm more than fine.
really?
I am. I'm actually more than fine they didn't go get DK. Honestly, I don't think he fits very well in this system. Under Josh
Like, what
McDaniels.
type of quarterback? What type?
don't
I
want to
mean,
pay
what
him
type of quarterback?
5 years, $180 million.
Yeah, that was a lot of freaking money for DK.
What type of wide receiver would you like, Colby?
What type of receiver?
Yeah, like that you think fits the team.
I want more of like a technician. I feel like DK has some inconsistencies. He's not that contested catch guy on the outside. I also think that he just simply wasn't worth the contract overall that he got. That's why I would say like a Cooper Kupp coming to New England, like a 1-year deal. And then you go out. Like I feel like a T. Higgins would work really well here. A guy that has inside-outside versatility, but runs really good routes, gets separation, and has that contested catch ability, but has that speed to him too. He's not that contested catch guy who runs like a 4.6.
But didn't the Bengals franchise tag him?
Yeah, they did. That's why he didn't hit free agency. Now there's still rumors you could trade for him, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, but
I don't know if I want to trade for him.
But like all the Bengals do that. They franchise tag him for a reason. That's they're gonna keep him.
Yeah.
Like T. Higgins, like if the deep bro, I'm so happy the Bengals defense is trash. Because Joe Burrow winning a Super Bowl before Tua. Oh man. That's
Joe Burrow underrated, man. I love Burrow.
Jalen Hurts winning a Super Bowl before Tua. And we could have picked Justin Herbert or Jalen Hurts or Jordan Love, but no, we picked Tua.
Yeah, but it's some good stuff. Flex, we appreciate the call, man.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank
brother.
you guys for everything.
My guy, we will
And
see
thank you guys.
next
Yeah,
week.
man, for sure. We saw our boy TD go
Flex, that's not
somewhere.
the right one.
TD went somewhere, and I think Colby's gonna fix the aesthetics real fast. Let's go
There
right
we
ahead.
go.
Let's run through these super chats and get you guys out of here. It's almost my bedtime. TD, the Finns made the playoffs 4 times in 23 years. Purple belt Mike L. Slippy L. Field ceiling is comparable to a Hobbit ceiling. Wow. Slippy L too coming in. Dan, you know the drill. All right. There you go, bro. There you go, my friend. There you go, my friend. Tony loves when I hit Bob. All right. Anyway, hey, Connor, we need a wide receiver next to GW. Would you take McMillan 7 if he is there? Great show, fellas. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm really high on Tim McMillan. I know Colby and I were going back and forth about, his stock, if he runs the 40, if he doesn't. Overall, I think he is a great complement to Garrett Wilson, Mario, just because you look at his size, his big catch radius, 6'5", 212 pounds, fluid moving athlete, large route tree. I really, really like McMillan. 60% contested catch rate last year in college, 18 contested catches. I'm a huge fan of Tet. I would take him at 1,000% just because I think he's the wide receiver too. You can line up outside of Garrett Wilson.
I like that. Lancelot, except for I'm a massive Matthew Golden guy.
Oh,
He's
Flags
climbing
to
up
the
boards,
speed.
man.
Yeah. Glenn, glad he doesn't roast on my team. Look at that. And he said 2 is 6-0 against the Jets and 7-0 against the Patriots. What about the Bills? This man talking like the Plains are a good team. Black Dog.
The Plains, that's crazy.
The Plains he's calling. Connor, and just like your dad, he pushes you to do better, and that is all TD is doing. He is expecting more from Tua. But because Tua is a grown man, TD can talk down to Tua. What?
Yo.
I don't know how to respond to that one, Glenn.
Interesting. Folks, we want to thank you for tuning in to another edition of the AFC's Roundtable. Not sure where TD went off to. I'm assuming he's having technical difficulties. However, we appreciate everything and all of your commitment to this show week in and week out. Reminder to go on ahead and tune in to Fourth and Forever, Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. EST, our daily NFL news show over on the Roundtable Sports Network. Also, go subscribe to Connor's YouTube channel.
Appreciate it.
It is pinned at the top of the chat. He is going to be a recurring guest on this show throughout the network. We will keep you up to date on his show coming hopefully very, very soon. Would you guys like to say anything right before we set these guys off on their Wednesday evening? Connor, go ahead.
Dan, Colby, TD looks like he's gone now, but TD was there. Obviously, super fun shopping it up with you guys tonight. Appreciate you all having me chat. Appreciate you tuning in. It's always fun, doing the interdivisional debates, chopping it up. Richie, thanks so much for reaching out to me today. To me earlier today, asked me to fill in. It was an honor to fill in to you. Big shoes to fill, but hopefully I represented Jets Nation in an orderly fashion. Appreciate you guys as always.
What you got, Colby?
Hey, man, Dan's already plugging the shows, but he forgot one of the best shows we got here on the
Draftaholics.
baby. We got Draftaholics every single Thursday live at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, talking with the boys. But I'm thinking we'll switch up the tempo a little bit. Maybe instead of doing a first-round mock draft tomorrow, maybe we do like a full second-round mock draft. So make sure you guys go ahead and check it out. We've done 3 different mock drafts already. We've broken down some of the top prospects. Make sure to check it out on Roundtable Sports main YouTube channel.
Man, you know what? I'll be tuning in, and I will be very critical.
I'll be there too.
I'll
be there too for sure.
Especially on the Bills picks. That's for damn sure. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of the AFC's Roundtable. Best of luck on all of your teams in the remainder of free agency. And next week, we will start transitioning over into some good old draft content. See you soon.
Peace.
Welcome to Fourth and Forever here on Roundtable Sports Network, your favorite NFL midday show, live weekdays at 2 p.m. EST, featuring Dan Mitchell, Richie Malora, and Tony Dow, covering all things NFL all offseason long.